Hey everyone, welcome. This is Tara. We are going to talk about how I organize my yarn and how I manage my stash. So we're still in my bedroom. This is where I store pretty much all of my knitting stuff. I do knit downstairs in the living room, but for the most part, everything is stored up in our bedroom, kind of out of sight and out of the way. And so this is my nightstand table that's by my side of the bed. And this is where my yarn is. So I don't have a whole bunch of yarn. That is my own personal choice. For me, knitting in, I think like most people, it is first and foremost a hobby, even though I do it all the time and would love for it to just be a way for me to help bring in money for my family, maybe one day. But for right now, my main priorities are loving my husband, loving my kids, and doing what's best for them. And so this is a hobby. And since that is the case, I do have a system for how I manage the yarn that I'm taking in. So in order for me to acquire new yarn, I have to produce either a certain number of projects or use up a certain amount of yarn before I feel comfortable purchasing or acquiring more yarn. So that's that part. That's how I manage it. If this is full, no yarn is being bought. If there are things where all of a sudden there's some more wiggle room, then I know that I can go and buy some more yarn. I don't want to get caught in the trap of just buying, and this happened to me last holiday season in 2019. I went online and treated myself to some hand-dyed yarn, and I only bought like one skein of each color, and that for me was a trap because I want to knit sweaters. And to knit a sweater, fingering weight, hand-dyed yarn, I would need at least 3 skeins of that color. Well, I didn't know that at that time. I hadn't made any sweaters. And so in order to buy a sweater's quantity worth of yarn, I've had to go through a learning curve. So I can shop at big box craft stores, which I think there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you can afford or if that's what's available to you, then that's fine. We all make decisions based on what we think is best for us and what makes us most comfortable with how we spend our money. I do not spend my money in a way that makes me feel guilty. I've done that in the past and I've learned my lesson. I don't want to do that again. That's not okay. So sometimes I'm gonna go to Michael's, or I'm gonna go to Joann's, or I'm gonna go to Hobby Lobby and get my yarn from there. And I do know that the more I learn and the more that I see and interact with people from around our community, I do want to make smarter and wiser choices. And so I have reached out to a couple of people that have given me some really good resources for where I can go to buy more affordable yarn for myself, for my family, that maybe could help support a smaller business without having to pay more than what I feel comfortable paying with. I'll leave that there. So right now, this is what I have in here in my side table. Both sides have yarn. So if I move this open, there it is. There you can see it in all its glory. So in here, these two drawers are mainly projects that I already have an idea of, like, I know what I'm making with that yarn, with the exception of some of these. If it's already in a tote bag, it's already for a project. And I don't want to say what projects these are going to be because I very well could change my mind, and that could happen at any second. So this pink bag is a project. This yarn back here, I bought it because I had bought it for a project that I knew I was going to want to make, and I'm just not sure if I'm going to do that now. But I've now had the yarn long enough that I can't return it. So that's kind of the bummer. But anyway, and then same for up here. Oops, we'll just move that. So this, I can tell you what this is. This is my soldatna. I've put it away while I work on some other stuff right now. Since that's gonna be like a Christmas thing, then I'm just gonna put it back in here. This is some yarn from Gabriella Makes that I won in the giveaway, and I keep it here so that when I look at it, I can be thinking about what do I want to make with it. It is beautiful yarn, and I want to make sure that whatever I make with it is something that I absolutely love, because I know that she has put in lots of hard work in what she makes, and I want to honor her making with whatever I decide to make. I would not be happy if I went to go make something and it turned out crap. And let's be honest, I've made a whole lot of ugly. And I would rather make a whole lot of ugly in acrylic yarn. I said it. Then on this side is yarn that I have left over from other projects. And so this one's kind of full. So okay, so get this. I bought 3 skeins of fisherman's wool because it was on sale at Joann's, and I made my Simone, and I have enough left over. I could totally make another one, perhaps with longer sleeves. And then I also have some more hand-me-down yarn. I have more hand-me-down yarn. I have a lot of there were a lot of hand-me-downs. So with this one, I'm kind of thinking I'm thinking striped sweater, like Andrea Mowry's, what is the name? She has a striped sweater. It's like black and cream. Is it the everyday sweater? Something like that. Or Hohi also has the super simple summer sweater. But I'm thinking chunky stripes, kind of a nautical feel with some red lipstick. Or even pink lipstick, that could work. But anyway, surely I have enough that I can make something. This is, so I like to keep a lot of things in plastic bags, and then whenever the plastic bags get emptied, then I reuse them. So in this bag is all of my leftover hand-dyed yarn, and I'm just not gonna use this. For as much as I paid for all of this, I'm using it. So right now I'm thinking of Vertices Unite by Stephen West. I've never made anything from him, and I think I could scrap together something and make it really nice. So these are all fingering weight, and then I have a bag that has other weights, and yeah. So this would be like DK and bigger. I don't have as many, but, and then I have linen, y'all. I have linen. You can't really see because of there's no good way to not get a glare on a plastic bag. Just go with it. There we go. That's okay. So I bought this linen yarn online because I wanted to make the Weekender Light by Andrea Mowry. Well, this is lace weight, which I could still make it work, and it would be kind of a looser gauge, a little probably see-through-ish. But this stuff is rough on the hands. I don't know. I don't want to make a market bag with it because I don't use market bags. There, I said it. I don't use market bags. I have 3 small kids. We throw things in the cart, we check out, we go home. Okay, it happens all really fast. So that's some leftover yarn, and I don't have any yarn down at the bottom. That's good, because I want this up here. I think a ball of yarn fell down here. It did. Oh my gosh, I don't think I can get this out. How am I gonna get that? Okay, well that'll be my project for later. There's a ball of yarn that fell into the depths and I can't get it out. So I want to keep this drawer empty because it does kind of have just some random stuff. You know, everyone's got a junk drawer. That's kind of what that is. Now, I do have this tote, and yes, I realize it's full of yarn, and I just said that I keep all my yarn here. So what this is I do keep all my yarn here, but like I said, I get handed down a lot of yarn, and so the yarn that's in here is hand-me-down yarn. So I have it in brown, and then I also have these giant like 1 pound balls of yarn and like a cream. So that's what's going on in here. I also have a bag of swatches and some other random tidbits that I have in here. And then so I did the 2019 Bernat knit along with Marley Bird, where you got the Bernat blanket yarn. So I have 3 skeins left over. What am I gonna do with this? I don't know what to do with this. I could make pillows, I can make hats. I thought about making like a really cozy sweatshirty sweater, because this feels like fleece. So it would be good when it's cold. But I've also thought about just donating whatever. And okay, so this isn't yarn, but I love this, so I want to show it. It's like a carpet bag. But you guys, look at this. It's a needle carrier. I love this. This was hand-me-down too. This is, some lady from my aunt's church gave this to her. So I keep it in here so it stays there. So anyway, now that you've seen my stash, that's literally all my yarn besides what's in my current projects, which are downstairs, and my current projects stay downstairs. That's all my yarn. I can't get the lid back on. There we go. So that's all my yarn. So if you have any ideas of what I can do with my scrappy yarn that was in the bag, or what I could do with that Bernat blanket yarn, anything would be welcome. I'm going to tell you that my mind right now, as far as what I'm making and knitting, is geared more towards heirloom style knitting. So besides making the vertices unite, try to use up my scrap yarn, everything else I want to make pretty classic and timeless, so that it has that heirloom knit feel. So if you have any good patterns in mind for that, I would love to hear. So that's my yarn, that's my stash, that's it, that's everything. And I am not allowed to buy any yarn until I use quite a bit up or make a certain number of projects. That's my accountability system. And I came up with that accountability system. The background would be I taught public school for 11 years. And with that 11 years, you get lots of experience in different things. And one of those nuggets of wisdom that you grab is to make systems for things. And so that's what I've done. So I have to make a certain number of projects, and like if I make 5 projects, then I can go buy some affordable yarn. If I do 10 projects, then I could buy a pattern. If I make 15 projects, then I can buy like new nicer needles. If I do 20 projects, then I can buy whatever, and the list goes on. And that holds me accountable to not be spending my money on my hobby when I really don't need to. That's my accountability system. So that's it. That's everything. Is there any affordable yarn that you just really, really love, or like heirloom style yarn that you really love that you think I should check out? And come hang out with me next time. Bye.